Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to our 23rd episode of Pariprashna podcast. So, the current scripture that we are discussing is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 1. So, until now, we have discussed the first 6 chapters, and today we will try and get a glimpse into chapter 7, the son of Drona punished, and chapter number 8, the prayers by Queen Kunti and Maharaj Parikshit saved. So, without further ado, let's continue to inquire from His Grace Kamala Lochan Prabhu. So, Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Right.
So, Prabhu, if you're okay with it, before we get into the chapters, there are a couple of questions submitted in our comment section of YouTube by a Mataji called Sumati Mataji. So, can we take those questions first, Prabhu?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, I'll read exactly how she's given. We know that Srila Vyasadeva compiled the Bhagavatam, but Suta Goswami is relating the conversation between Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. So how does this conversation in Naimisharanya between the sages appear in book form or written form when Srila Vyasadeva had already compiled the Bhagavatam earlier? So she wants to understand the sequence of Bhagavatam. How did Bhagavatam come in the written form?
Very good question. And the answer is given in the 7th chapter itself. So when Vyasa was dissatisfied after writing all the 18 Puranas, which includes Bhagavatam, Narada came and asked Vyasa, what is the reason for your dissatisfaction? Then Vyasa told Narada, you are my guru, you know better about my dissatisfaction. Immediately Narada told, the reason for your dissatisfaction is that Prayana Nirupitaha. You have not described Vasudeva Katha to the extent it should have been. Though you have described about Krishna's pastimes in the Puranas, but you have not described as much as you give importance to Dharmartha Kam Moksha. Yatha Dharmati Yascha. Now, after hearing from Narada the glories of Bhagavatam and instruction from Narada that you have to write Bhagavatam, then what did Vyasa do? That is how the 7th chapter starts. Any other questions are going to come about the 7th chapter. Since you have asked the question already, in the 7th chapter, 8th verse, first canto, 7th chapter, 8th verse, there is a very beautiful verse which says, Sa samhitam bhagavatim kritvānukramya cha atmajam. Sa samhitam bhagavatim, that Bhagavatam, which was written by Vyasa earlier, what did he do? Kritvānukramya. He edited it. So, Bhagavatam, what is available for us now, is the conversation between Sutta Goswami and sages of Naimisharanya, and presented by Vyasa in the mood in which Narada has given instructions to him. So there was editing done. Kritvānukramya means editing, revised it. And then taught it to his son. He taught it to his son. Then Sukadeva Goswami went and spoke to Parikshit Maharaj. So when he spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, Sutta Goswami was there in that sabha. So Sutta Goswami got the Bhagavatam, which was re-spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, according to the mood in which Narada has spoken to Vyasa. So Sukadeva Goswami went back to sages of Naimisharanya, spoke that Bhagavatam. And Vyasa took that version and presented it to us in a book format. So that is how it is. So first Vyasa did the editing part mentally and then spoke to Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami spoke to Parikshit Maharaj as well as Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami took that and spoke to the sages of Naimisharanya. Then Vyasa found that version is a very interesting version, so that this can be put into written format. So it was editing. Kritvanukramya is a proper word which is there in the Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, 8th verse.
Okay, thank you for that clarity, Prabhu. So her next question is like this. What is the difference about hearing Bhagavatam classes such as this and reading the books? Because Prabhuji mentions reading as important. Can hearing or reading be the same? Kindly advise.
Srila Prabhupada says hearing is more important than reading. But at the same time, one should know that hearing should be done first and then reading. Tat shunvan supatan. And then vicharana paro. Then you have to do vichar. Vichar means contemplation. So first hearing, then reading and contemplating. So this is the process. Tat shunvan supatan vicharana paro bhaktya vimucche naraha.
So, Prabhu, let's get into chapter 7 now. So, in chapter 6, the way it ended was Narad Muni clearly gave the explicit instruction to Vyasadeva that please compose a scripture that is exclusively glorifying Krishna, and then after that he leaves. So, now in the beginning of chapter 7, we see before actually composing Bhagavatam, he sits in meditation in Shamya Prasa, I believe it is Badrikashrama. So he sits in meditation and he sees Krishna, he sees his external, Krishna's external energy, Maya, and he also sees the suffering Jiva as a result of misidentification. Now, my question is, when we see in the broader context, whether it is Vyasa Maharshi going into meditation before composing Bhagavatam, whether it is Brahma performing tapasya before doing his creation after gaining the knowledge from Krishna, and even our acharyas like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, before he initiated this wide preaching movement, he actually took a vow that he will do Shatakoti Nama Yajna, which took him about 9 years and 4 months, intense amount of chanting the holy names before he started preaching. And even our own Srila Prabhupada, we see the enormous amount of success he had in the later years, but then there are indications where when he was living in Sri Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, every night in the middle of the night, he would sweep clean the Rupa Goswami's samadhi and then cry out, pleading, begging for the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami. So what can we learn from this before undertaking some important task, that we first undergo meditation or tapasya or austerity and then seek divine mercy, divine revelation, and then begin the task?
Definitely, this is called Purascharya. Purascharya means that you do tapasya before you undertake a task. Especially before initiation called Diksha, we do Purascharya. Now, this is not just an event, but it should be a process. Now, the process, what we accept is that we do tapasya at the same time present Krishna consciousness to the extent possible. It is not that we are presenting some realization of our own, but we are just repeating what the acharyas have spoken. This is the real tapasya. So by doing so, over a period of time, then you shine, your heart shines, your consciousness shines in Krishna consciousness. So it is not that, for example, you have to first do some tapasya for 10 years, till then don't come in public and don't speak, then only you can speak. No, our tapasya is this, to repeat what our acharyas have spoken. Like, for example, what we are doing in Pariprashna is just repeat what our acharyas have spoken. So it is not a preaching project where the realizations are spoken to deliver it to the people. It is just an opportunity for us to hear and chant, repeat what our acharyas have spoken. So it is not, in one sense, preaching for the deliverance of the world. It is this Pariprashna or any other project what devotees take up is for self-purification. And self-purification happens when you get an opportunity to serve Krishna, an opportunity to speak about Krishna's pastimes, name, fame, pastimes, etc., or hear about the pastimes of Krishna. So this is Purascharya, this is tapasya, what we are doing now, tapasya, an endeavor to hear and speak what our Acharya has spoken, no concoction, and then present it to people so that if they are benefited, well and good, we'll get also some of their blessing. So it's humility. There is no tapasya better than humility. And we expressed our humility by undertaking these tasks.
Beautifully said. So, Prabhu, in sloka number 7, after Vyasadeva has composed Srimad Bhagavatam, he's saying how simply by oral reception, maybe I'll just quote the shloka. Yasyam vaishruyamanaayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsaha shoka moha bhayapaha. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. So, how does hearing Bhagavatam extinguish the fire of Shoka, Moha, and Bhaya, Prabhu?
Yeah. You went all the way to that text where Yasyam Vaishwemanayam Krishne Parapurushe Bhakti Purusha Shokamo Bhaya. Now Vyasa Tapasya is by the order of Narad Muni, because in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 5th canto, when Narada, 5th chapter, when Narada addressed Vyasa, he told in 2 places that you go into Samadhi. He told in the 5th chapter, 14th verse. And also he spoke in the 6th chapter also. It's an instruction that, oh my dear Vyasa, 13th verse rather, Samadhi nanusmana tadvicheshtitam. So you go to Samadhi, contemplate, meditate on what I have spoken. Like I give this seed, and you meditate on the seed, and that will expand into your consciousness. That is how Vyasa, he starts meditation in Naimisharanya. Bhakti yogi manasi samyak pranityamale pashusham purnam mayam dabashram. So he saw Krishna. Along with Krishna, he saw Srimati Radharani, the Sakis, Gopis, he saw Vrindavan, he saw Yashodamai, he saw all the Balabals. And at the same time, Vyasa could see behind Krishna, Maya is standing, ashamed because she is deviating people from Krishna, and she is giving a lot of trouble to the living entities. So then Vyasa saw that how is that these troubles which these living entities are experiencing, because Maya convincing that you are the body, you are not the soul, you are the body. Paro vimanute, and experiencing so many experiencing so many tribulations, tapatrayas, then Vyasa could see what he could see. The only way by which these people who are conditioned in this world are bewildered by Maya, thinking I am the body, thinking the body related people to be mine, this is my house, my wife, my, me, and me and mera, I and mine, these 2 components of ignorance. So they are suffering. So the Vyasa could see the only solution to their suffering is Krishna Bhakti. And he hid that Krishna Bhakti in Bhagavatam. That is why the purpose of writing Bhagavatam is Yasyam Vaishwe Manayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Rutpadyate Pumsa Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. So Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Yasyam Vaishwemanayam, that before that, Anarthopasham Sakshat Bhakti Lokasya Majananto Vidvans Chakre Samsamidam. So by the practice of devotional service, sadhana bhakti, anartha upasharam sakshat bhakti unukshate. So the word bhakti yoga in the 6th verse refers to sadhana bhakti. So by practicing of sadhana, by practice of sadhana, what comes out? Yasyam vaishwemanayam Krishna Parashava bhakti rutpadyate. Bhakti rutpadyate. What is that bhakti which is born? Bhakti is born from bhakti only. From the sadhana bhakti, which bhakti is born? Prema bhakti is born. So when that prema bhakti appears in the heart, shoka, moha, bhaya is completely eradicated, because you know that Krishna is the Lord of your life. Madchitta madgata prana. You are living for Krishna. So when you are living for Krishna, whatever happens in your life is immaterial, because you are living for Krishna. You are not living for yourself. Madgata prana. When you consider Krishna as your prana, even somebody takes away your prana, you smile at them. Somebody comes and kills you. You know, your prana is Krishna. You're not interested in your prana. So in this way, person who has come to the level of prayer bhakti, his attitude is like that.
Very nice. So, Prabhu, once he composed, here it is said, Vyasadeva enlightened Shukadeva Goswami, his own son. And for that, the Shaunaka Rishi, he is asking Suta Goswami, Sri Shukadeva Goswami was already on the path of self-realization and thus he was pleased with his own self. So why did he take the trouble to undergo the study of such a vast literature? And in answer to that, Suta Goswami is quoting this beautiful shloka. Suta uvacha Atma Ramascha munayo nirgrantha api urukrame kurvantyahaitu bhaktim ittham bhuta guno harihi. All different varieties of Atma Ramas, those who take pleasure in Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. So, Prabhu, quite an elaborate purport by Prabhupada, and also it said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this Atma Rama shloka in, I think, 64 ways or something like that to Srila Sanatana Goswami. So, kindly shed some light on this important shloka, Prabhu.
So why Narada, he came in, spoke to Vyasa? The primary reason is this verse. He want to tell Vyasa that you have done a great offense by writing the Puranas. Because in the Puranas, you are told, by performing bhakti to Krishna, you will get mukti. So you have insulted bhakti. On the name of glorifying bhakti, actually you insulted bhakti. So you have to write a Purana, that is Bhagavad Purana, in which you have to explicitly show that mukti, bhakti is beyond mukti. Bhakti is not a sadhana for mukti, is not a sadhana for liberation. Rather, even the liberated soul hanker to perform bhakti. Now, Vyasa told Narada that I have mentioned this in the Bhagavad Gita. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kanchati samam sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate. Who gets that bhakti? Those who are Brahmabhuta prasannatma, those who are muktas. Now, Narada told Vyasa, you have mentioned it, that's all. You are not explicitly described in every page. You have not made this point as a basis of your Bhagavatam, of basis of your book or your Puranas. So you should write a book called Bhagavatam, in which this prameya, this object of knowledge, this tattva, this point, in one sense, simple words, that bhakti is superior to mukti. Even muktas, they hanker to perform bhakti. Bhaktas are superior to just muktas. Bhaktas don't accept mukti even though it is given to them until there is an aspect of some seva. So this should be the basis of a grantha. So Atma Ramas Chabunayo, even though they are Atma Ramas, Nirgrantha, they are beyond all kinds of material contamination. What api Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha api. Even though they are Nirgranthas, even though they are Atma Ramas, even though they are Muni, great Munis, when they hear about Krishna, they give up their attachment to their Atma Rama, their attachment to their own matas, their attachment to all kinds of liberation. And what they do? They do bhakti, kurvanti hetum bhakti, because they have heard the gunas of Krishna. So two examples. One is Sukadeva Goswami himself. Sukadeva Goswami is a liberated soul by birth, but still he was attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. He was not attracted to Vyasa. Vyasa was crying, Putreti, Putreti, Tanmayataya, Taravovineduhu. My son, please come back, please come back. He did not even know what's happening. He was not even knowing the distinction between a man and a woman. He was such a liberated soul. He is called to see is Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. But still, Vyasa, he knew there is only one way to attract this person who is not attracted to anything in this world. The only way to attract him is Krishna Katha. the qualities of Krishna. So he sent 4 disciples, then taught them 4 verses, which are glorifying Krishna's compassion, beauty, his opulence, and sweetness. So then, when these 4 disciples went to the forest, when they start speaking, chanting these verses, then Sukadeva Goswami thought, what is this? Who is this person? So attractive, who is so compassionate? That Krishna, Ahobakiyam Sanakala Putam. This Baki, Utthara, came to kill Krishna, but Krishna gave her the position of his mother, Dhatri, a nurse. I want to hear about him. So he was attracted by the quality. Same way, the 4 Kumaras. The 4 Kumaras, they were liberated soul. They just go anywhere freely. But once they paid obeisances to Krishna in Vaikuntha, they smelled the fragrance of Tulasi from the feet of Krishna entered their nostrils. And immediately they were completely captivated by bhakti. So Krishna's mercy in the form of his divine qualities made the Atma Rama, Sukadeva Goswami, perform bhakti by studying Bhagavatam and then speaking Bhagavatam. Then the 4 Kumaras, the mercy of the Bhagavata, that is, one is Grantha Bhagavata, other is Bhakta Bhagavata, made them intoxicated in bhakti. The 4 Kumaras were intoxicated in bhakti. One who is very grave and completely detached, and he becomes mad in Krishna bhakti. That is the nature of Krishna's pastime. So, on the instructions of Narada, Vyasa, he wanted to write a book which has this point, or this prameya as its basis. That is, bhakti superior to mukti. Even muktas hanker to perform bhakti. Bhakti is not a sadhana for mukti. And bhaktas, they don't care for mukti, even though it is given to them, until they accept only some services. So based on these concepts, the whole Bhagavatam is built. And that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he explained this word 61 ways. The word cha and then 9 points are there. Atmara, cha, munayo, nirgranta, api, urukrame, kurvanti, ahetukim bhaktim, itham bhutagano hari. So taking these aspects, different permutation and combinations, by using this word cha, so many meanings were derived by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he explained it 61 ways to show that how important it is verse, to show how important it is prameya, that bhakti is superior to mukti. How important it is prameya, that the devotees, they don't even bother for mukti because they're completely drowned in the bliss of Krishna consciousness.
Mind-blowing, Prabhu. Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. So, Prabhu, now we'll switch gears. So, in the beginning of chapter 4, Shaunakadi Rishis asked 4 questions. So, I think this kind of wraps up the first question, the history of Bhagavatam, how it came about. So, now let's move on to their another question where they were very interested, eager to know the birth of Maharaj Parikshit and his activities. So, now Suta Goswami is setting the scene for Maharaj Parikshit's birth. So it starts from the end of Kurukshetra war, and we see that there is this envelope of grief and lamentation in the Pandavas' camp because Ashvatthama has committed this heinous act of killing the 5 sons of Pandavas who were sleeping. So, and then they get to know that it is Ashvatthama who's committed this act, and then Draupadi is lamenting as a mother, she's crying so bitterly. And Arjuna takes a vow that Draupadi, I will get his head, I'll cut off his head and bring it to him. And then after that, we'll burn the body of your sons, and then you can stand on his head and take bath. And then here is this wonderful divine duo, unparalleled duo, Krishna and Arjuna, chasing after Ashvatthama. So we will get in a minute. This chapter is titled The Son of Drona Punished. Why he was punished, how he was punished, we'll get into that. But before that, Ashwatthama is the pivotal character in this chapter, chapter number 7. He is not an ordinary personality. So before we get into the degrading act he committed, can you please tell us how great he is?
Ashvatthama is a Chiranjeevi. He is an aspect of Lord Shiva. It's all fine. But he's a villain.
Yes.
He's a great villain.
Yeah.
He's a great villain.
Yeah.
Now, the subject matter of this chapter, starting from here, till the end of the chapter is not the greatness of Ashvatthama, but the greatness of Draupadi. Number one. Number two, the greatness of Arjuna. These are the two subject matters which are there in this particular chapter. So I remember one thing. There was one in Pune. Now it is known as Pune, but originally in the Vedas, that city or that town was known as Punyapattinam.
Oh, okay.
So there was a big competition, which kavya is the best. So then what happened? Many scholars were scrutinizing different kavyas, means novel. So Sanskrit novels are called known as kavya. Then what happened is they selected one kavya which is very nicely written, known as Shishupala Vada as the best.
Okay.
And author and that book was supposed to be kept on the elephant. Author was also sit on the elephant, and there would be a procession. But at that time, Vajirada Tirtha was there in the town, and he told, I have written one book. You did not scrutinize that book. It's going to take around 17, 18 days for it to come from Udupi. You check that also, and then you can decide which is best. Then Saint Sannyasi is telling so. The king told, okay. Actually, he had not written any book. It is not in Udupi. He started writing the book.
Oh.
And he named the book as Shishupala Vada. Other one is, on the other way, is Rukmini Haranam.
Oh.
So now, which one is the better title?
Rukmini Haranam.
So that is the subject matter. The subject matter was the same, but the title, and of course the kavya was so excellent that this book was named as the best of the kavyas, and there was a big procession. In the same way, Ashvatthama, very powerful, because he played an important role, because without Ashvatthama playing the role of a villain, the greatness of Draupadi, the greatness of Arjuna would not come into a picture.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, Ashvatthama, out of fear, he sees Arjuna and Krishna chasing after him, and out of fear, in order to save his own life, he just, without thinking, whimsically, he releases Brahmastra. So it's very, very interesting when Ashvatthama releases Brahmastra, Arjuna sees that his own life is in danger, there is this heat, all-pervading heat in the universe, but he does not immediately take action. He is not whimsical like Ashvatthama. Even in that dire emergency situation, he's taking 4 verses to glorify Krishna. And then only in the 5th verse, he is asking Krishna, where is this effulgence coming from? What is going on? So what can we learn from Arjuna's mood of prayer, even in such an urgent situation, how he's glorifying the Lord?
Okay. Just a small correction, which the book which Vajiraja wrote is known as Rukmini Isha Vijaya. I could not get it proper.
Okay.
Rukmini Isha Vijaya. So that was the subject. So Krishna is subject matter. Now here Arjuna is taking shelter of Krishna. Now, if you go to the prameya of the subject matter of this particular chapter, one is Krishna is testing the dharmanishta of Arjuna. Dharmanishta of Arjuna. Now, the first test of Arjuna was, let me see whether he is going to surrender to me or not. Number one. Number two, he has surrendered to me. At the same time, later Krishna is going to tell Arjuna, kill Ashvatthama because you have taken a vow. Now Arjuna is not going to listen to Krishna.
Yes. Because
Krishna wants Arjuna not to listen to him. So sometimes Krishna speaks some words to test a devotee. So Arjuna passed that test. So Dharmanishta of Arjuna, how can he kill Ashvatthama, who is a son of his own guru? Even though he had taken a vow, but he used his intelligence and he killed Ashvatthama, at the same time did not kill him. He took the sword and then shaved off his head and half mustache. The money was also taken away. This is as good as killing Ashvatthama, but at the same time he did not kill. So Arjuna used his intelligence. So this shows a person who is surrendered to Krishna, he has got the best of intelligence. Sometimes surrender has been described as lack of intelligence, lack of valor, so you surrender. Actually, surrendering to Krishna is real intelligence, and by doing so, you get real valor as well as good and sharp intelligence.
Okay. And also in this context, Prabhu, there is this whole debate that ensues. So Ashwatthama is bound like an animal and they bring him to the camp. And Draupadi shows this super excellent level of empathy towards Ashwatthama, a mother who has lost her 5 sons. And then the kind of empathy she is able to show, saying that if Ashwatthama is killed, I don't want Kripi to cry like me. Why did she not show this level of empathy before the war of Kurukshetra? Then the whole massacre could have been avoided.
Yes. Draupadi, she is not an ordinary personality. She is born from fire. And she showed empathy at every step. If you go to the Mahabharata, then when Pandavas, when they lost Draupadi, especially Yudhishthira, he asked one question because she was asked to come to the Sabha. She asked one question to Shashanam. I don't know who exactly it was. First, tell me, did Yudhishthira lose himself and then lose me, or lost me and lost himself? So her dharmanishta was so strong that if Yudhishthira first would have lost me, he has all the right because I'm his wife, would have lost. But what he has done is he lost himself and then lost me. So that is where she took shelter of Krishna. When Dushasana was disobeying, Draupadi would never do any mistake. Of course, the whole Mahabharata was started because she laughed. That was the mistake. And that was done by the wish of Krishna.
Okay.
When Duryodhana was walking in that, when he was welcomed in the Sabha, locked by the big palace was built by Vishwakarma, when Indraprastha. So there the palace was in a higher dimension. So Duryodhana was walking and he saw water. Then he put his foot there. It was not water, it was glass. He started walking. And later on he saw glass and he put the step there and he just fell down in the water. So before that also there is a description. There was a window which looked like a door. There was a door which looked like a window. There were steps which he was climbing, and he's climbing. The more he climbs, he is the same step. So that whole mahal or the palace was built in such a way you had to walk to climb to walk. So that mystical thing, when he fell down, full of water everywhere, his friends, then seeing this, Draupadi laughed. So there is a saying in Kannada, Hennu nakkudre chandalla, hal ukkudre chandalla.
Oh, okay.
So loud laughing of woman is very inauspicious. So Krishna wanted to teach the entire world. There are certain things which are inauspicious. One of the things is a lady laughing loudly. So that is the mistake which she did, which Krishna showed to the entire world. If you do so, what is going to be your condition? Though it is not her nature, to show to the entire world what is wrong, Krishna puts certain illusions into certain people. Otherwise, the real nature of Draupadi is this, what she's going to tell, what is she's telling in this chapter. Is her extreme compassion. Sir, she is put into such a condition, such a deplorable condition, losing her own children. And the person who killed those children when they were sleeping is in front of her. And she is brought to such a condition. And that in that condition, she is speaking such wonderful things to set an example to the entire human society, especially to women.
Yes. So, Prabhu, as you said, Draupadi definitely puts forward many wonderful arguments as to why he has to be released and not killed. And in this context, there are certain devotees, this whole debate that happens, arguments. So there is Yudhishthir Maharaj, Nakula, Sahadeva, Arjuna, Satyaki, Krishna, they're all agreeing with Draupadi. However, Bhima tends to disagree. And then Krishna intervenes, but he does not give an explicit instruction to Arjuna as to what he has to do. He says, you have to now satisfy your wife also. You have to not, you have to kind of manage the situation. So, Prabhu, before we get into how Arjuna manages the situation, what is the place of disagreements, debate, discussion in spiritual circles? How do we maintain our individuality but make sure that we are not egoistical in presenting our opinions?
You can present your opinion, you can put forward your opinion, you can market your opinion based on scriptures, but ultimate decision is lying on the person who is having the adhikar. So you may be right, but you may not have the adhikar to execute your rightness. So certain practical decisions should be accepted even though it is wrong, because what is higher truth is accepting authority. Now the authority there is Arjuna, not even Bhima, not even Yudhishthira, because it is he who actually took the initiative. So everybody was addressing Arjuna. Bhima did not say Arjuna. For him, what is a Bhima? I can just kill Ashvatthama for him. But in that circumstance, the decision maker, the authority for taking decision is given to Arjuna. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, being elder brother, he would overrule anything. Bhima, elder to Arjuna, could do that. But they were all dharmikas. They knew what to do when. Even though Arjuna was younger to Yudhishthira and Bhima, they accepted in this circumstance, Arjuna, it is your decision. We can only give our suggestion. So sometimes your suggestion may be right and the decision may be wrong. Just because of that, if you start executing your rightness as a decision, then it is a bigger wrong than the person who has taken the wrong decision. So just because you're right, that doesn't mean that means nothing. What is important is adhikar. Qualification is important. Maryada Vitikram should not be done. Etiquette is more important than being right.
Very subtle. It's very difficult to understand these subtleties, but very beautiful. So, Prabhu, why is Krishna not simplifying it for Arjuna? Why is he? First of all, earlier also you said Parikshata, Krishna is testing him. Why does Krishna test his devotees? Already they're going through so much, and then Krishna is also testing. And here also, why complicate things instead of simplifying it? Krishna could have easily told him what to do.
It is like saying, the student saying, why our teacher is giving me a test? She can really answer the questions better than me, and she can give me good marks. Why is she asking me to answer the question? She knows better, isn't it? The teacher knows better than me. Why is she asking me questions? Why all these tests? The test is not to test. It is to make you stronger.
Oh, okay.
Make you well equipped to face the future situations, future examinations which are going to come in your life. The teacher may give you good marks, And she would answer the questions better than you. But you will be an incompetent person when it comes to job and all. So to make you competent, to make you stronger, the teacher would test. The tests are not actually tests, not to degrade you, not for anything, not to make you failure. It is only to make you stronger. So the tests which come in our life, the problems which come in our life are actually the test given by Krishna. So whether you pass in the test or fail in the test, that is immaterial. If we are becoming stronger in the test, that is the purpose of the test by Krishna. So if you may, sometimes you may get some problems, you may fail. Sometimes you may get problems, you may pass. You may be successful. It doesn't matter. The real success is, are you a stronger person and a better person than yesterday? That matters. That is the real purpose of these examinations. That's what Krishna does, that you are becoming a better devotee. You are more surrendered because of these situations which you are facing in your life.
Okay, okay. So let's say we
Kunti
face...
Devi passed.
Yeah.
Kunti Devi passed the test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu, if you wanted to continue, please go ahead.
No, bas.
Yeah. So let's say we face the test with the right perspective and we pass it and we become stronger. What is the result of passing the test? Bigger test?
Definitely. Because once you pass 8th standard, 9th standard also another test comes. That is bigger one. There's more tougher one. So every time you pass a test, you have a tougher test. So that you become more stronger, more and more stronger.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So as you already indicated, Prabhu, Ashvatthama is punished, rightfully so, by Arjuna. He is not killed, but at the same time is humiliated by removing the money and shaving off his head and mustache and everything. And now stepping into the next, not stepping into, getting into the next chapter, chapter number 8, has Ashwatthama not learnt anything? I mean, just now he was punished and all this humiliation, but he's still so adamant that he releases another Brahmastra to kill Parikshit. Is it his desperation? Is he doing this out of vengeance? In fact, my earlier question, why I asked about his greatness, was in the sense not to glorify him, but somebody who is the son of a great Brahmana, Dronacharya, who is Amsha of Shiva, but still the kind of acts he performs is so immature, so degraded. In that context, I was asking. So has he not learned anything?
When you are associated with a dushta, then you become a paramadushta. His friend was Duryodhana. Ashwatthama's friend was Duryodhana. Even Duryodhana criticized the act of Ashwatthama of killing the Pandavas. Somehow the Ashwatthama had given a word. The Pandavas were killed by Ashwatthama when they were sleeping. Duryodhana was not happy with him. But somehow he had given a vow. He had taken a vow. He had given a word to Duryodhana that I am going to make sure that there will be no hair for the Pandavas. So he wanted to satisfy Duryodhana by fulfilling his vow. So he thought, let me complete my vow. And he did it again. He shot his Ashwatthama arrow to kill the Santana Bijam, that the seed of Vamsha was in the womb of Utthara. He did it. So Murkhachittam Aradayet. You cannot change the mind of a fool. And a fool is one who chooses the wrong friend. He's attached to the wrong friend. That's the problem.
Okay, okay. So Uttara sees this fiery iron weapon coming towards her and she immediately realizes what's going on. And then seems like this is a natural trait in all the Pandavas, whether it's Arjuna, Kunti, Devi, and here we see the glorious Uttara. There are all these capable fathers-in-law that she has, the Pancha Pandavas, but still she doesn't run to any of them. She has this spontaneous, unflinching faith that it is only Krishna who can protect her. And she also prays so beautifully. Uttarovacha Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam tvad abhayam pashye yatra mrityu parasparam. So what can you tell us about this spontaneous faith and dependence that Uttara has towards Krishna, Prabhu?
That is how a devotee is called a devotee, because he takes shelter of Krishna at every step in all circumstances. Now, Uttara, she knew that some danger is there for her and for the baby inside the womb. At that time, she could have gone to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not only she surrendered to Krishna, when Krishna asked her, "Why are you coming to me? Go to your in-laws. They are very powerful. Go to Arjuna." She says, "Now the danger is in my womb. And for that, only you can do that. Because he's Mahayogi. Arjuna cannot enter my womb and protect my baby. It is only you can do that. So, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate. Nanyat Tavham Pashyet Tatra Mrityu Parasparam. Na Anyat. There is nobody else whom I can see who can save me from the danger. So, this is the instruction which, or the message which she is giving. There is nobody else who can save us other than Krishna. Especially when Mrityu is Parasparam. This fearlessness only can be given by Krishna. One of the symptoms of Sharanagati is Avashrakshi by Krishna. Krishna will protect me in all circumstances. And this is Sharanagati's Atma. To such an extent, a devotee is not even bothered about what is going to happen to him in future. He doesn't even endeavor for his own material maintenance. Because Krishna is there, he is protecting me in all circumstances. The topmost Sharanagati, topmost level of Sharanagati, that one doesn't even endeavor for material maintenance. Krishna is there, he'll take care.
So the very next sloka also, Prabhu. Abhidravati mamisha sharastaptaya so vibho kamam dahatu mamnata mame garbho nipatyatam. Oh my Lord, you are all powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. My Lord, let it burn me personally if you so desire, but please do not let it burn and abort my embryo. Please do me this favor, my Lord. Such beautiful display of motherhood. She's saying it's okay if I die, but please protect my baby. But how unfortunate it is that in the present times, the mother, for their sense gratification, they are willing to kill their own child. If you can contrast these two.
In the Bhagavad Gita, in the very first chapter, when we talked about the social reasons that Arjuna gave for not fighting the war, in which he says, Shriyesh Dushtas Varshneya Jayate Varna Sankara. That means unwanted children. So destroying a woman means to destroy her motherhood or the motherly nature. That is the thing which actually protects the entire world, motherhood. And the motherhood is destroyed because the mothers, they want to kill the baby in the womb. Abortion, biggest sin, unwanted child. They kill the baby. Somehow the baby is born. The baby come from just throw him in some anathalaya, crushers or something like that. I'm fed up with him. So motherhood is destroyed. That is how the demoniac population increases, and the demons, that is what they attack on the name of feminism, on the name of women empowerment. All these names seem to be very secular, very nice, very modern, and very much equality, men and women equality seem to be very nice, but actually they are all demonic because they are motherhood is being attacked. So when there was a discussion of maternity leave, to increase maternity leave so that the mother can give time to the child, Then the modern so-called managers or administrators are saying, why? Why the child should be the reason for the mother not to have her career? Because if she takes a leave, she'll be out of touch or in technology, and later on she comes, then so the company should provide a space for the babies where the mothers can work and the babies are there in the company room itself, and many babies are there, and you can have a nurse who can take care of it. So let us have something like that. So they design ways and means, which seems to be very much uh, full of empathy, but this is demoniac empathy, this is demoniac equality, without understanding uh, the values. All these so-called values without having the Vedic background, sensitivity, they're all demoniac. They're all coming imported from Western ideology.
Mhm.
That's all. We have a hostel for the children. Let all the mothers they go and then serve in the army because it's a war. All these things, the convent, the hospitals, and this and everything just comes because of war. When there's a war, many soldiers are wounded, dying, so they require a lot of nurses. So what they do? Get all the women, let them serve these soldiers who are wounded, and then let all the children be put in one convent school where a couple of motherly people will take care. So that was the emergency situation, and that became a norm these days.
Mhm.
And all the demonic mentalities are based on how to destroy the motherhood, based on that. So that the woman become independent, and when she becomes independent, then she becomes you can have this ideology of sense enjoyment continue. Anyhow, though coming back to Bhagavatam here, then Krishna, when she's running and coming, hey, what kind of lady you are? Your husband is dead. Still, you want to protect your own life? Then she says, no. I am living to protect my embryo, my my baby in the womb. Let that thing kill me, no problem. But I want to protect.
Mm.
So my baby, so that this baby is going to be, that is my dharma, to protect the baby. He's going to be a great devotee. He's going to be useful in your service. That's how even material desires are actually dovetailed in Krishna consciousness. Still, it can be pure devotional service.
Mm. Beautiful. And we see the reciprocation by Krishna immediately. He had actually mounted the chariot to leave to Dwaraka, and then Utthara comes running, and then he immediately, the Bhakta Vatsalyata of Krishna, he protects Parikshit. So one of my favorite pictures is where Parikshit is praying to Krishna within the womb. So, and he expresses this gratitude later also in 10th canto, that even without me calling out, the Lord came and protected me. Very beautiful, heart-touching episode. So Prabhu, then Krishna settles the situation. He has protected Parikshit Maharaj, and then again he mounts the chariot. He wants to leave Hastinapura and go to Dwaraka. And now comes this another amazing pastime episode where Kunti Maharani comes this time, and she chants these beautiful prayers in 26 verses from verses 18 to 46, 43 in chapter number 8. So Prabhu, what is the significance of Kunti Maharani's prayers, given that there are 96 prayers in the entire Bhagavatam, but the first set of major prayers is coming from this amazing devotee, Maharani Kunti. So, what is the speciality?
The speciality is Kunti's undeviated devotional service, Ananya Bhakti, Avichilita Bhakti. One of the subject matters, five subject matters of Mahabharata is Kunti's undeviated devotion to Krishna. Nakula's Samashilata, Karana's Dhanashilata, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Dharmanishta, then Krishna's Bhakta Vatsalata, and Kunti Devi's undeviated devotional service. Just see, born as a girl child, then she was not even knowing the world, external world, just 3 or 4 year old. She is being sent to somebody else's house. Now she becomes somebody else's daughter. They wanted a daughter. Kunti was wanted a daughter. So because they had no children. And okay, Vasudeva's sister was given. Okay. But when she went there, another son was born to them. Then actually neglect. Then she was married to Pandu. Pandu died. Children were so young. And so much, just imagine living in such conditions where you are treated like so badly. And at the same time, she has to protect the children. How many troubles? But at every step, she remembered Krishna. She was not disturbed at all. She never even cried once. Now she is crying, the only cry which she had for because of separation from Krishna. And that's how she set up standards for devotees, especially for sannyasis, especially for vairagis. So Krishna gave Kunti the first position in the series of prayers which are going to come, Bhishma's prayers, Sanjalpamaya Stuti. Dhruva's prayers and all these prayers are going to come. All these prayers are, the first prayer is by Kunti because of her bhakti. And number two, and these prayers are specifically meant for vairagis, means those who are sannyasis, those are viraktas. So Krishna made the viraktas learn from Kunti Devi.
Amazing. So, Prabhu, in the interest of time, we will not be able to dive into all these 26 shlokas. We'll just touch here and there, at least just give a taste for the audience, and we will also relish a little bit. So, we'll just start with the 18th verse. Kunti uvacha namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakriteh param alakshyam sarva bhutanam antar bahiravasthitam. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. So, Prabhu, in the social context, she is the aunt and Krishna is her nephew. So, general etiquette would be the nephew offers obeisances to aunt. And here, Srimati Kunti, she is just giving up all these social inhibitions and publicly she is offering obeisances to Krishna. So, what do you have to say about this?
So Kunti, she is a very special kind of bhakta who is having the mood of Aishwarya, where she knows Krishna is God. At the same time, she is being aunt of Krishna. She is having a special motherly affection. So there is a mixed mood in Kunti, Vatsalya and also Gaurava. Because just now she saw the greatness of Krishna. What has happened is the Vatsalya became a little bit inhibited. And then the Gaurava or the majesty aspect of Krishna increased in her heart. That is why she says Namaste. But for Krishna, Kunti is aunt. So Krishna is jokingly telling, hey, my aunt, Kunti, what are you doing in front of everyone? You paying obeisances to me. Then she is better, no, you are Purusha. Purusha means you are a man. What do you mean by that? I'm a man. What is there any doubt or what? No, you're not ordinary Purusha. You are a Adi Purusha. Namasye Purusham Twadhyam. Okay, Krishna says, oh, is it because I'm a soul or what? No, beta, you're not just soul. You are Ishwaram, you're controller. Okay, there are many controllers. I'm like another controller like Indra, Chandra, Varuna. Another demigod. No, you are Prakriti, Param. You are control who is beyond the modes of nature. These demigods are not beyond the modes of nature. So this verse, there is a sweet combination of rasa and tattva.
Okay,
So
very
Krishna is
beautiful.
experiencing the rasa,
Uh-huh.
and by his prayers, Kunti Devi is establishing the tattva also.
Okay. So I'm going to skip some shlokas here and there and jump around. Tata paramahamsana muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katam pashyemahi striyah. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? So, how humble Maharani Kunti is. She's a queen, she's the mother of these illustrious sons, but yet she takes this very humble position. And in fact, there is this book which is a compilation of Prabhupada series of lectures given in Los Angeles on Queen Kunti's prayers. And Prabhupada is calling her the most intelligent woman, but yet she's so humble. So, what can we learn from her humility, Prabhu?
So how can these two be contradictory qualities? If you're intelligent, then you're humble. It is not in spite of she being very intelligent, she is very humble.
Mm-hmm.
If you're humble, then you're intelligent. If you're not humble, then you're a fool. So, Kunti Devi, where did this humility come from? Humility comes because of a glorification of Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
That is how the prayers are organized, or though there is not a standard, but you will find this series. First is Sharanagati, Namasya, and then glorification of Krishna, Purusham, Twadhyam, Ishwaram, Prakriti, Param, Alakshan, Sarvutana, Antarvairistam, Maya, Jamigas. When you glorify Krishna, then naturally your heart becomes very soft and humble. In spite of she such exalted personality, she is glorifying Paramhamsa, Amalatmanam, and she is considered as an insignificant woman. Actually, she is a teacher for these Paramhamsas, teacher for these Amalatmanas, teacher for all these, she is guru for all the munis. But the humility is a natural outcome of glorifying Krishna. When you glorify Krishna constantly, heart becomes very soft. So in that humility, what manifests is prema. When the prema manifests to Krishna, there's only one thing what a devotee can do is chant. That is how immediately he starts glorifying. She starts chanting the names of Krishna.
How nice. So I want to contrast two particular shlokas here. This is 23rd shloka. Yatha rishikesha khalena devaki kamsena ruddhati chiram shucharpita vimochitaham cha sahatmaja vibho tvayaiva nathena muhur vipadganat. O Rishikesha, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. And then she goes on to list those constant dangers, some of them. Vishan Mahagnev Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichatah Mrudhe Mrudheneka Maharatastrato Draunyastratascha Harer Hare Bhirakshitaha. My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashvatthama. So is she kind of comparing herself to Devaki and saying, Krishna, yes, you've shown your mercy to Devaki, but then compared to the mercy that you showed to her, the mercy you showed to me is far more greater because you have protected me and my sons from a series of dangers. So her comparison with Devaki and feeling, maybe I should not say superior, but feeling that she has received more mercy of Krishna, how should we understand this in the proper perspective?
That's humility. If you are seeking more mercy, that means you are more dainya. So she says, oh, Devaki, Krishna, being the son of Devaki, allowed his brothers, that is the sons of Devaki, 6
Mhm.
sons, being killed by Kamsa.
Mm.
But I am just alone because she has a Natha. Her husband is there, Vasudeva is still alive. But Krishna is more merciful to him because Tvayeva Natena Muhur Vipadhana.
Mm.
Whenever dangers came, you saved us. And also you saved my children because of Muhur Vipadhana. Because Tvayeva Nathena, because I have you only as the Natha, nobody else to protect me. So you are the protector of the person who is helpless. So Kunti Devi is expressing her helplessness and surrender.
Very nice. Then this amazing shloka. Vipada santuta shashva tatra tatra jagadguro bhavato darshanam yatsyad apunarbhava darshanam. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. Oh my God, what a prayer. Takes a lot of guts. Everybody is trying to avoid calamities and suffering, and here is Maharani Kunti saying, let those calamities happen again and again. Why is she praying like this? What is the connection between calamities and seeing Krishna? And
Jagat Traya Guru. Vipadasantuta Shashvat Tatra Jagat Guru. You are Guru. Why you are Guru? Because you send calamities. How can it be Guru sending calamities? Yes. Krishna sends calamities to teach his disciples surrender. And she is able to recognize that it is Krishna who sent all these calamities. And through calamity, the Krishna is teaching surrender. Then, if she says, "Oh Lord, if that is the rule of yours, that you only come to us when we are in misery, when some difficulties are there, better that we have the difficulties eternally, because we can have your darshan eternally."
wow.
Because the calamity of separation from you, that calamity cannot be tolerated by me. In front of calamity of separation from you, that calamity, uh, uh, in front of that,
Wow.
what else can be any happiness? Let all the calamities be there. If you are with us, the happiness of having your darshan, in front of that, let any calamity come, they are all insignificant. That's our mode.
Wow, awesome. जन्मैश्वर्य श्रुत श्रीभिरेधमानमदः पुमान् नैवार्हत्यभिधातुं वै त्वाम् अकिञ्चन गोचरम्. My lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. So, what is this qualification to approach Krishna Prabhu? How can this parentage, beauty, high education, and opulence become an obstacle in approaching Krishna?
The problem is not with high parentage or beauty. The problem is not with being wealthy. The problem is being associated with that and identifying with that. That means becoming proud of them. Pride. Janmaishwari Shutashrivid Yeda Mana Mada. Mada is the problem.
Okay.
Being rich is not a problem. But to think I am rich is a problem. Having a high parentage, being born in a very aristocratic family is not a problem. Think that I am an aristocrat. That is a problem.
Okay.
To have beauty, to be beautiful is not a problem. To think I am beautiful, that is a problem, because that makes you offend devotees. That makes you think that I am so great, which doesn't allow you to perform bhakti.
Okay. Very nice. So, Prabhu, there are a few shlokas here where Kunti Maharani is attributing the greatness, the achievements, the opulence, the fame and success of Pandavas, everything to Krishna. So he's saying, as the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities along with the Pandavas and Yadus will end at once. Simple glance of Krishna she is highlighting. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yate danim gadadhara tvatpadairankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitaihi. O Gadadhara, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance, the trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the oceans full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. So please say something about this, Prabhu, her realization.
Tells Krishna that you are going because we are happy. Actually, we are happy because you are here. Because of your glance, everything is going on nicely. But once you leave, everything will be lost. So she is using her Kshatriya brain and logic to convince Krishna, don't go, stay back. So she's expressing her humility also. Oh, Krishna,
Yes.
it is because of you, only your glance, everything is happening nicely. All the grains are growing because of your glance. Now you are going, your glance will not be there, nothing will grow. So don't make it an excuse that now you are happy in Kunti, so I'll go. Actually, the happiness is because of you are there. All things are nicely going because you are there. If you go, then so it's trying to catch him and convince him, don't go, be here.
Very tactful. So, Prabhu, here is another very important shloka. Atha Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Swakeshu me Snehapashamimam Chindhi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. So, Prabhu, why is Kunti Maharani seeing family relationships as an obstacle for her devotion towards Krishna, especially given that both sides, Pandu family, Vrishni family, both are devotees? Still, she is asking, sever my ties of affection.
Now she is very much in a big dilemma, confusion, that which is a natural outcome of prema. Because if Krishna goes to Dwaraka, then the Vrishnis will be unhappy. If Krishna stays here, then the Yadus will be unhappy. And she is connected to both. Departure for the Pandavas and coming for the Yadavas, coming here for the Yadavas. So because of this, she is completely disturbed. That is why she says, Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. The Pandus and Vrishnis, I have attachment for both. If you go to Dwaraka, then Pandavas will be unhappy. And if you stay here, then the Yadavas and the Vrishnis will be unhappy. And I am connected to both. So, my affection for them on the material platform should be destroyed by you only. Let me not think of neither the Pandavas nor about the Vrishnis. I want to only think of you. That is why Sneha Pasamim Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. So that my mind is totally attached to it, nobody else. You are Vishwatma. You are the soul of the entire universe. And how is it so that you want to let me die just thinking of Pandus and Vrishnis? I want to leave my body thinking of you. My mind flowing towards your lotus feet. Like Ganga would flow. Gange Vodho Dhanmadi. Ganga would flow, meet the ocean in the same. I want to do that. My mind should flow towards your lotus feet.
Very, very beautiful. So, Prabhu, you made one point in the way you were explaining. You said affection on the material platform. So, the problem is not necessarily with the relationships, but the material affection, right? If we see it in Krishna-centered way, then there is no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Prabhu, with that, and then she glorifies Krishna very wonderfully. Shri Krishna Krishna Saka Vrishni Rishabhavani Drug Rajanya Vamshadahana Pavarga Virya Govinda Godvija Surarti Haravatara Yogeshwara Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty Lord, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. So, very beautifully, she is glorifying. So, Prabhu, what is the essence of all these 26 shlokas, Shri Kunti Maharani's prayers?
Tvayi me ananya vishaya. Without thinking of anything else, no other vishaya. Matir, let my mati be at the feet of Krishna.
Hmm.
Not to be bothered about anything, just only think of Krishna. That is the essence
Hmm.
of these prayers, which made Krishna smile and changed his mind.
Hmm.
The power of the prayers is so strong that Krishna is Satsankalpa and Satyakama, who
Mhm.
just by desire things can happen. He
Hmm.
changed his mind.
Wow, very perfect. So, Prabhu, there is this general myth about Vedic women that they were very regressive. Their only thing was about bearing children and cooking for the family. They did not have a voice or opinion of their own and things like that. But actually, that is not the case. We just have to see the pages of Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam. That such powerful women, actually, they were really powerful. Just now we saw whether it was Draupadi, Uttara, Kunti Devi, Tara, Ahalya, Anasuya, Mandodari, so many of them, Gandhari, Urmila, Mother Sita. I mean, they are so intelligent, they're so wise, they are so strong, especially in the face of adversity, the way they handle it so gracefully. So there is so much actually we can learn from there. They are truly the women of wisdom. They should be our role models, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yes.
And more than anything else, they were such great devotees of the Lord. They knew what was dharma, adharma, everything. They were very decisive.
Yes.
Yes, very nice. So, Prabhu, towards the fag end of this 8th chapter, we see that Maharaj Yudhishthir is in lamentation. So, he is lamenting, holding himself responsible. He is taking accountability for all the massacre that happened for millions of people in the war of Kurukshetra. Now, just like Arjuna was put into lamentation by Krishna, is this also a divine orchestration, or is Yudhishthir Maharaj something else going on here?
How Adbhuta Karmana.
Mhm.
Now Krishna is thinking, now why I had to stay back? Just because Rukmini told, Kunti Devi
Kunti.
told,
Mhm.
Kunti Devi told to stay back. I'm staying back. There must be some other reason for it. Krishna, yeah, Bhishma is still lying on the bed of arrows.
Wow.
I have to glorify him. I
Mm.
want to prove to the entire world what I cannot do, my devotee can do.
Mm.
So in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj started crying. Then Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to him.
Mhm.
At the same time, Krishna in the heart of Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling Yudhishthira, don't listen to me, don't understand. Because he wants Yudhishthira and everybody go there in front of Bhishma, everybody assembled. And he wants to tell the entire world, just see, I could not convince Yudhishthira, I could not deliver Yudhishthira from his lamentation.
Mm.
Bhishma could do. So to glorify Bhishma is the real nature of Krishna. That is, he wants to glorify his devotees.
Mm.
As much as the devotees would like to glorify Krishna, Krishna wants to glorify devotees.
Mm. Fantastic. Very wonderful reciprocation. So, Prabhu, thank you so much. My heart is not still satisfied. I wish we had more time. Such amazing chapters, and there is so much to discuss actually. But anyhow, in the given time, we have tried our best to discuss as much as possible. So, Prabhu, we will move to our own Brahmastra. So, unlike Ashvatthama's Brahmastra, which was destructive, our verbal Brahmastra is constructive. While Ashvatthama's Brahmastra created fear and chaos, our Brahmastra, Pariprashna Brahmastra, is just a display of wisdom, wit, and having a little bit of fun. So if you are up for counteracting the Brahmastra, I'll go ahead and start, Prabhu. So today's
Yeah.
Brahmastra theme is prayers because Arjuna prayed, Utthara prayed, Kunti Maharani prayed. So we will also focus on prayers. So the first question, Prabhu, which prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam inspires you the most and why?
Very difficult question. But since we did Kunti Mahani prayers, now I do say Kunti Mahani prayers.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Okay. Next one. What is more powerful, tears or words in a prayer?
Tears translate into words, which should translate into tears in our eyes.
Okay.
The tears of Kunti Maharani, which is translated into words, by hearing that, that should be translated into tears in our eyes.
Oh my God.
Ultimately, tears are more powerful.
Wow, mind-blowing connection. Okay. So if you could sit down with Kunti Maharani for 5 minutes, what would you ask her about her prayers, which we just now relished?
I would not ask her about prayers, I would ask her to make me her son.
Jai. Jai. Most wonderful. Wow. Glorious. What is one prayer you would like to memorize, but you haven't memorized yet?
The prayers of Vedas personified,
Oh,
not specifically memorize, to analyze. And
okay.
then it has been my 10 years dream, but the very
Oh,
first words itself bewilders me, so I just keep quiet.
oh, may it
Last
manifest.
prayer, the
Okay.
10th canto.
Okay. What's one emotion you think should always be present in a prayer?
The emotion which they have towards Krishna, we have towards Krishna, it should be manifest very spontaneously.
Okay, and that emotion could be different for different devotee?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, got it. So, Prabhu, people like to have their song playlist, like the songs they usually like to hear, they make a playlist. So, similarly, if you could design a prayer playlist for you, there are so many wonderful prayers, but I'm going to put you in a fix. Which three prayers would make it to your prayer playlist?
I would not say just the word prayer.
Hmm.
There are many stotras in Bhagavatam, which have different moods.
Okay.
Definitely the 5 pranas of Bhagavatam, which are Venu Gita, Pranaya Gita, the Gopi Gita, and the Yugala Gita, and Ramana Gita, of course the Viraha Gita. At the end of the Bhagavatam is Maheshi Gita. So definitely one of the three. One of the three within these Gitas would be.
Yes, Prabhu. If Krishna hosted best prayer of the Bhagavatam competition, now all the prayers are beautiful in their own way. This is just for fun, Prabhu. So if Krishna hosted a best prayer of the Bhagavatam competition, which prayer would you nominate?
Definitely the prayer with the best of the devotees. That is Brahma Gita. Radharani spoke it.
Okay. Okay, Jai. Next, what is the ideal mood for prayer? How should we pray?
The ideal mood is to just repeat what the devotees have already prayed. And then just consider oneself to be the servant of those devotees who have prayed, and then pray to them that those moods, the moods which are manifest in those prayers should manifest in my heart.
Okay, nice. Next, If Krishna asked you to recite one prayer from memory, which one would you choose?
I think I already told the favorite word, Tatte
Tatte.
Vikampa, Sumekshamano, Gunjanamemaatmakritam Vipakam. So this verse from the Bhagavatam.
Okay. Next, what is one prayer you would recommend for someone facing challenges in devotional life?
Kunti Devi prayers.
Okay. Next one. Can prayer change someone else's heart?
Definitely means when you mean to say that, yeah, Kunti Mara is praying, and when we chant those prayers, our hearts will also change.
Okay. Like if we are praying to Krishna that you are there as Paramatma in such a person's heart, so please make them less envious or whatever, then their heart is going to change?
Yeah, if Krishna listens to you, you have that kind of relationship with Krishna, you can do, but he cannot guarantee.
Okay.
He could not change the heart of Ravana, is it?
Okay.
So he will try.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Last one, Prabhu. If your prayers were like letter to Krishna, how would you sign off your prayer letter?
मज्जन्मनः फलमिदं मधुकैटभारे मत्प्रार्थनीयमदनुग्रहेशैव तत् भृत्य इति मां स्वरलोकनाथ. That servant is Kunti Devi. Or whomever prays which are recited. That will be a servant. That will be the praise. That is how it sign off. Dasa Dasan Dasa.
Wow. Whose prayer is this? Kulashekar Alvar, is it?
Yeah, Kulashekar Alvars.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Perfect sign off, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So as always, Prabhu, I'm extremely grateful for all the wonderful insights. Thank you so much. Thank you would not suffice. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So Kamala Lochan Prabhu said how he would sign off the prayer letter. So we are also signing off from episode number 23. So I would request that all of you can kindly go through this small little book, Queen Kunti's Prayers, along with Prabhupada's commentary. There is also Prabhupada's very absorbing series of lectures he gave in Los Angeles. Maybe I'll leave a link for this book in the description. You can check it out and you can read it online. So thank you very much for being part of this discussion, and we will see you in the next episode. So Bhishma Pitamaha is lying on the bed of arrows. So Krishna is going to take the Pandavas there. What wonderful instructions he is going to give them. What can we learn from the glorious passing away of Bhishma Pitamaha? All that and more coming up in the next episode. So please eagerly wait and join us then. Until then, as always, stay inquisitive and stay Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.